Hello, good day. My name is Jude. I'm an education consultant. Making this video in particular on why children, and the only reason children resist formal learning time. And now this could go for kids who are in the school system, traditional students, non-traditional students, or homeschoolers. Making this video specifically after a conversation that I was doing for a family earlier today, consulting with them on some issues and challenges that they've been having coming up within their homeschooling. And it's on that specific point of their kids put up a fuss and start kicking back, start pushing back when it comes time for formal learning time. And they've been suffering with this challenge for a few months now, and what's happening is that in the beginning, as they were getting into homeschooling for the first few years, their children were excited and loved to sit down, learn, have a lesson, study whatever the topic of the day was. And, they use worksheets and workbooks and they teach out of a curriculum. But as the kids started to get a little bit older, now they're at this point where they are resisting the formal learning time. They start to mope and grope and procrastinate and delay when it's time for them to come and sit down at the table and have a quick lesson. And even if they get through it, when it comes time to actually do some practice and bring the skills to life, there's even more resistance. And because of that, mom is frustrated, kids are frustrated. There's just an air of conflict in the room. So that's why they had brought me in to kind of look at, okay, what's going on here, right? Why was this not an issue a few years ago, but now as of recently, for the past few months, it's not able to simmer and go away. So the reason that a child, when it comes to formal learning time, starts to resist whatever it is they may be learning is not because they don't want to do the material or don't know the material or can't learn the material. The real issue is that there is a processing gap between how they're taking the information. So, for example, let's say you are doing something that you know how to do. And even if a challenge comes up with the activity, let's say you're cooking or you're coding, whatever you might like to do or you're talented at, even if an issue, a challenge, you start to feel some resistance or struggle comes up with the activity that you're doing, there's a part of you that lights up and gets excited because you know you have the capacity to figure out what the problem or the challenge is and work through it. So you don't get frustrated. You actually get excited because you're in that sweet spot where the task is challenging, but you know and have the confidence to be able to overcome it. And so bringing this back to education, and when it comes time for students to learn, especially kids that are homeschooling, the only reason that a child would feel frustrated and start to shift along their development is because there is a gap in the way that they're able to consume, process, and take in the information to have the confidence within themselves of being able to handle the challenge, right? And so that's where this foundational point comes from. So what I see the remedy is for being able to overcome this, or what the solution is, you can say, is parents that have a system and a structure to be able to, one, identify what these processing gaps are, but then two, have a daily system integrated within their homeschool to be able to overcome these gaps and basically fill in missing blocks. For example, right, if there's a broken structure such as like a bad house, if you have a way to be able to fill in those gaps or replace those blocks, then the rest of the tower doesn't have any issue. So if you're interested in seeing, well, better way to put it is, if this resonates with you and you've been having some trouble with overcoming frustrations with your children as learning time comes up, and you're looking for some support, some guidance, or just a push, a point in the right direction, you can feel free to reach out to me, because that's what I do, is really support families who are homeschooling to be able to identify these blocks and these gaps that their children have, and put systems in place to be able to overcome them, but also fix them for good. So if that resonates. Looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk soon. All the best.